guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the book club, Reading with Ray, hashtag. I'm super excited to finally be filming this video. Sorry to you guys again. Like I said in my last video, I don't really apologize for things because I think women apologize too much. However, I am always sorry, like genuinely, truly sorry about missing. I'm gonna cry, I'm just kidding. I just lost my breath for a second. I'm genuinely sorry when I miss book clubs because I enjoy these videos so much and I feel like I'm depriving myself of something that I really love to do while also depriving you guys of something that you actually like to see. And like I said before, I love these videos so much and this is my favorite series, shh, don't tell anybody, because it's got such a smaller audience and it's so like targeted to people that love the things that I love. And so here we go, let's get started. I'm actually gonna look at my last book club video here because I want to tell you what I did and did not read, but I read everything. So, okay, Gabriel's Redemption by Sylvain Reynard. Reynard, is that even how you say it? I don't know, but it's the third installment of the Gabriel's Inferno series, which I had touched on in the last video. I love the series. It's pretty good. When I first read it, I loved it. Like, it was just amazing. And now I still really enjoy the series, but I found so many other series that I actually prefer. Not that it's competition, but it kind of knocked it down a few pegs because now there is tougher competition. But I did go ahead and read Gabriel's Redemption, which was the third installment. And I enjoyed it. I don't think it was necessary. You know, like the story was fine without the third book. However, I think it was a good addition. And if you're a fan of the series, definitely pick up the third book and read it. It's nice to see how Gabriel and, Julianne. It's nice to see how their relationship progresses and how the family's doing and how, you know, just how everything's going. And there are some big life changes in the book. So it's fun to read and I really enjoyed it. And I do love the way that he writes intimacy and sex and stuff. So Sylvain Reynard's an amazing author and I definitely recommend the book. If you read it, let me know what you think about it because I was like hesitant to read it and it took me a long time because I just wasn't super excited about it. But once I dove in and I really like got into it and, you know, whatever, like it was great. And I'm glad that I read it and checked it off my list. So checked it. Check with the left hand. My mom makes backwards checks because she's left-handed and I think it's so odd. Like, do all left-handed people check backwards? Sorry, that was a little extra tidbit there. My mom's left-handed, in case you didn't know. Okay, and The Baby by Abigail Barnette. I had written that I would possibly read that and I didn't read it because it's not out yet. So it should be out in a couple of months. I believe, I was looking at a lot of release dates the other day, but I want to say that The Baby's supposed to be released in October and that I am so excited for. Like that relationship, that series, it's called The Boss series by Abigail Barnette, whose actual name is Jennifer Armitrout or something, but she goes by Jenny Trout. And Abigail Barnette is just another pen name that she writes like erotic fiction under. It's very complicated, but she is an amazing author and The Boss series is freaking mind-blowing. It is so good. And I'm a huge fan of it. The boss, the girlfriend, the ex, the wife, now the baby, like I cannot wait. The stories just keep getting better and that is so rare to see in a series. But I love the characters, I love the writing, the way that she writes BDSM, like that must be the most pro-feminist BDSM I have ever seen written or read or whatever. Like it is just phenomenal and I absolutely encourage you to read it if that's something that you're into, like erotic new adult fiction. So I love it. The characters grow, the story just, it's amazing. So as soon as the baby comes out, you better believe it's gonna be on my iPad and I will be reading right through it. I also said that I'd be reading Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. Now, Bad Feminist, I can actually show you the book because I purchased it, like a physical copy. And normally for my new adult books, just because before I didn't really have the space, I wouldn't really purchase those. I would just, I'd purchase them as ebooks. I wouldn't purchase the physical book just because I didn't have where to put it. But now I couldn't have more places to put books, so I'll probably be buying those again. But I do love to read new adult books on my iPad and my phone and stuff, so I can pull it out whenever. But this one I bought as a physical book, but of course I went ahead and I went on Audible and I bought the Audible version anyway. And it was not read by Roxane Gay, but it was read by someone else, who by the end of it, I really felt like she was the author, you know? So, okay. I wasn't sure how to feel about this book. The Audible version is wicked long. You guys see the stain here? I was like cleaning the house and it spilled on my book and I was devastated. But the ebook version is like 11 or 12 hours. I'm sorry, the Audible version is like 11 or 12 hours. So long. That's so long. I think the longest ebook I've listened to like before this was maybe 6.5 hours, and I think that was Bossy Pants. No, it was Yes Please by Amy Poehler. But anyway, it's only 313 pages, and it's a bunch of essays. So feminist essays based on Roxane Gay's life and sort of her perspective on things. So she talks about a lot of pop culture things like the show Girls, the movie 12 Years a Slave, the movie, what's the one, Quentin Tarantino, Jamie Foxx, Leonardo DiCaprio, super racist kind of stuff. Son of a diddly, what is it called? Django Unchained. She talks about that. She talks about, she talks about a lot of different stuff, about how we feel like, you know what, I can't explain it as well as she can, but I will say that she also has essays on like Sweet Valley High and on like Scrabble. And those essays, which were towards the beginning, they were so hard to listen to. Because I don't know if it's because it was too personal to her and I couldn't really relate. I mean, I like Scrabble, but the amount of time she spent talking about the Scrabble tournaments to me was like, this is a long time. But once I kind of stood back and took the whole book in, and I did listen to the whole thing through, and it basically took me a weekend. It was a weekend I had without the kids while I cook and clean, and like I was putting together furniture and stuff. I was just listening to her book. At 1.25 speed, so it did cut down on the amount of time that it took to listen to it. Once I sat back and really just took the whole book in, I loved it. And I would say halfway through, toward, you know, and all the way to the end, phenomenal. I really enjoyed this book, and it gave a really good view on just feminist issues that are current, and you know, both to very specific things and also just sort of to how we exist generally. So I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it if you're interested in any sort of like feminist you know, literature. So check it out. And the next book I said I was going to read was Revealed by Aleatha Romig, and that was for the Convicted series. Crap, I always forget what it's called. Is it called Convicted? Hopefully I listed it. Oh, the Consequences series. So the first one was Consequences and Truth, then Convicted. And then there's the revealed version of Consequences and Truth and Convicted, which is like the from the male's point of view. So I read them all. Those books are legit as fuck. They are so good. Oh my god, they're so good. It's like holy mind fuck all over the place. Like every single book you're like, what? Okay, I know what's gonna happen. Hold up though, I did not even know that was gonna happen. Like it is just insane. I love that series so much. It's just a big old mind fuck, but it's so much fun. It's just so much fun. So I did read that and loved it. In case you couldn't tell. And oh, that was it. That's all I had to read for May and June-ish. So I did read through all those books. And in addition to that, I also read a couple of other new adult books, but nothing that really was like, yeah, let me go recommend it. One book that I recommended maybe a year, 2 years ago that I feel like is worth mentioning again for new, you know, subscribers, is the book You Don't Have to Say You Love Me by by the same person that wrote the book Unsticky, which Unsticky was good too. I feel like her name is Sarah. Oh, her name was Sarah. Her name was Sarah Manning. Sarah with 2 R's. Crazy. Anyway, that book was phenomenal. If you are a plus size girl and you have ever struggled with your weight, or you know, even if you're not, like that book was so good and it touched on weight issues and our issues with food, but also there was like a love story and like, it was so good. It was so good. It's not like erotic fiction. I mean, that, you know, there's some boning in the book, but that's life. But that book is really great. So if you haven't read it, I would totally recommend it. I go back and like flip through it all the time because I thought it was a really good book. But I don't have any new adult fiction lined up to read next month, and it's devastating. You guys don't know. I've been putting off this video for like the last week because I was like, okay, I have to tell them what I'm gonna read, but I can't find anything to read. I keep buying books. I get through the first couple chapters and I'm like, oh my god, I hate these characters so much already. I hate the writing. I hate the characters. I hate how like self-centered so-and-so is. Like, oh, I can't do it. So you know, or it's like, okay, I've read this story 1,000 times. I don't want to go through this again. So if you guys have any suggestions, please drop them below because I would be super grateful. Now, one more book that I did pick up and read that I would recommend is Modern Romance by Aziz Ansari. So you guys probably know Aziz. He is a comedian, super funny, but he wrote the book Modern Romance. And while I was in New York, my girl, Dana, she was like, oh, I just got this book. I want to say she saw him speak or something, but she had just picked it up. She happened to have it in her bag. So I just love the cover. I mean, let's be real. I do judge books by their covers, and this is funny. It's him looking at a cell phone with hard eyes, motherfucker. So I really enjoyed just the cover, and then she was like, oh, it's gonna be so good, da-da-da. So, and she was telling me how much she liked it. But basically what this book is about is, I bought the Audible version also. So I bought the book at Target, and then I bought the Audible version, which was 1 credit. So for me, it was like 15 bucks because I pay 15 bucks a month for it. And he reads it himself, which is great. And I want to say it was like 5 or 6 hours Audible. So not bad at all. I actually listened to it right after getting done with Bad Feminist. So it was great. It was a great transition from female to male. But the book is about how we, basically modern romance, how we date now. I mean, down to like, how we text, what we include in the text, like the time frame in which we send it, and how we dissect everything, and Instagram and Facebook and everything. And it's just, it's so good. And it's a, you know, it's like a research book. So he did put a lot of, you know, time and effort into it. And he did do a lot of like focus groups, and there's lots of interviews with people, and it's just so interesting. This is funny. This is the first time I've actually looked through the book because I like to buy books like this, listen to them, and then just keep them so I can go back and flip through them, you know, if I need to at some point, if I feel a desire, or if I want to take the book and lend it to someone, or, you know, give it to someone, whatever. So it's a great book, and I would highly recommend you pick it up just because it's super informative. And for those of us that are dating, and people that have their Tinder site, or their Tinder, you know, the app, and they're on OkCupid or whatever else, like, it's just super informative, and it's just very interesting perspective. And I thoroughly enjoyed that book, and I just flew through it. Seriously, I like basically sat down and listened to the 6 hours of it. I mean, I was like cooking spaghetti, I'm washing the baby's butts, like I was doing everything listening to this book and fully focused. So pick that up and read it if you have not, and if you have, let me know down below. Of course, if you read any of these books, please talk about them. The whole point of these videos is to talk to you guys about these books, and about, you know, what you might be reading and what you're enjoying, and you giving me advice and me giving you, you know, book reading advice. So here we go. A couple of books that I picked up recently that I plan to read the next month. I love these videos because it keeps me accountable. Like, I have to read what I tell you guys I'm gonna read. I can't just not read it. So one of them is, I picked this up a couple of months ago actually, and it's one of the only books that I have left that I purchased before we moved, and I have yet to read. What's that, baby Mia?
Look, this is a new Paw Patrol game.
Uh-huh.
I want that.
Okay, and the name of the book is The First Bad Man, a novel by Miranda July. So, the back of it had, what are these called when other people write stuff? Why can't everything go? Anyway, the top one was by Lena Dunham, who wrote Not That Kind of Girl, which I know was kind of, I'm looking at it right now. I read it, and I had opinions, but I feel like it created all this controversy, and let's not even get into it. But anyway, the first one was from her, so I was like, well, I like the tone and the feel of Lena Dunham's book, and I enjoy Lena Dunham generally, so I was like, oh, well, she's giving it a raving review, so let me go ahead and pick this up. So it is a novel, so I'll let you guys know how I feel about this book. I'm not even sure what to expect, but I do plan on reading it this month, and I will let you know if you should read it too. I'll give you the skinny. Another book that I picked up recently is called Shitty Mom, A Parenting Guide for the Rest of Us, and I related so hard to the cover of this, okay? A mom sitting on a children's slide at a playground with her cell phone in her hand and her Starbucks, and she's wearing a pair of heels. Now, I probably wouldn't have the heels on, okay? It's actually like the kid is on the other side, so the kid's over here playing. But just the other day, just yesterday actually, I was sitting on the slide, had my cell phone, I had my purse, I was like eating a Hulk granola bar, and I would have had Starbucks if there was a Starbucks on the way to the park, but there wasn't. And I just relate so hard because it's, oh my gosh, it's so funny. I've only read a little bit of it, but it's just so funny. Like here's a chapter 36. Motherfucking babies on the motherfucking plane, which is obviously in reference to snakes on a plane. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. But anyway, this just screams Sarah Ray Vargas. Now, am I like a shit-tacular mom? My kids don't love me or something? No, of course not. But I can relate to shitty moms. Just doing things that you know are not perfect and dealing with things, and like, there's no such thing as a perfect parent. But in short, I have to read this book. And then this other book, which not my style at all, to be honest with you. I'm not real big on picking up books that don't have like a love story or not educational and like a feminist or a, I don't know, some sort of way. So this one is called The Opposite of Loneliness. You may have heard of it. It's been on the New York Times bestseller list. It was, I believe, from what I've gathered, Marina Keegan, she actually passed away. I believe she died in a car accident like just after graduating college. This is her book though. She wrote all this stuff and then someone put it together, and you know, and this is her. I'm pretty sure this is her. And so she has passed away, but apparently it's supposed to be a really amazing book, and I'm down. It's not very long. It's less than 200 pages, fairly big writing inside of it. So I plan on buying this, and hopefully I will, I don't know, it'll be a great story and I'll enjoy it and you'll enjoy it, you know? So I'll let you know. It's Essays and Stories by the author, who is Marina Keegan. That's it. So those are the books that I'm definitely gonna read, and hopefully also you guys will recommend some new adult books, because I could definitely use like some pleasure reads. You know, not that these are for school or anything, but these tend to be a little bit, you know, more educational or whatever, but I just want to dive into a story and fall in love with some characters, and I need that in my life. I need it so bad, because I've been so stressed out lately, and I've been just searching and searching and searching for a book or a series especially, like something that I could really dive into. Oh, and hopefully I'll see you before this time, but Mindy Kaling's coming out with another book, and I believe it's called Why Not Me. I'm so excited for it. I will definitely be reading that. Also, Jess Baker of The Militant Baker, she is coming out with a book called, I want to say like The Things They Don't Tell Fat Girls, or shit, I forgot what it's called, but it's gonna be, I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. Jess is an amazing writer, and I will definitely be reading that book. I'll write down below what days these books are coming out, because if it's soon, tack that on to books I'll be reading very soon, but if it's not, then I won't. And I think that's it. So if you guys have recommendations, please leave them below. I hope this video wasn't too long and rambly, but also I don't care, because I really like book club. So let me know if you guys read any of these books, or you have, or you plan to, or anything. And that's all I have to say. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.